The LMS market is not exactly exciting, but that might be about to change thanks to a new product from, of all people, Microsoft. At the tail end of last week, Microsoft released a ton of promotional blog posts and videos about a new initiative called Microsoft Viva. Now, it seems to be made up of a lot of different elements, but the one that's got me really excited is Viva Learning. Now, there have been rumours about Microsoft entering the LMS or LXP market for years. I remember back in 2018 when they started pushing Teams quite hard. It kind of felt that that was the next logical step, but nothing ever really came of it. There were some whispers, some rumours, and of course we saw LMS 365 come out as a third-party implementation of an LMS into the Microsoft architecture. But nothing from Microsoft themselves, until now. To start with, it looks like Viva Learning is going to be bringing in predominantly external content. We're talking things like Coursera, LinkedIn Learning, and even actually Cornerstone On Demand. What that does do, though, is bring that learning content into a platform that most people are now very familiar with, very comfortable with, and are already using in their day-to-day job. This moves us a lot closer to that famed in-the-flow learning experience where someone can go directly from working to learning to communicating and back to learning all within a single platform. It also opens up the idea of managers being able to quickly and easily assign learning again in the flow of their role, not having to go onto a different platform. Now, we saw some brilliant jumps towards this approach with things like single sign-on integrations and certain LMSs speaking to certain productivity software, but this looks like it will be the closest and about as good as a total integration as we're going to get. Now, the most exciting thing for me is the fact that they state very clearly they are going to be getting more companies integrated with this, more platforms integrated with this, and that they will be releasing the APIs publicly, meaning that any platform can integrate with this. That is huge. One of the big challenges of integrations is getting those API calls. So many companies keep them private, hidden away, or charge for them. The fact that Microsoft are saying currently they will be available publicly really opens up possibilities here that even if your current LMS provider and Microsoft don't get together and integrate, having those APIs should mean it's possible for everyone. Now, the missing thing so far is being able to host your own content. They don't say explicitly that this will be a service that they're including, but looking at some of the pictures, it seems to me that it's a very, very high probability chance of being included. You can see in some of the images on their site that you can have PowerPoints, you can see that you can have documents, and you can see that you can have learning content assigned to certain teams. Now, learning content is extraordinarily vague, but my hope, and to a certain extent my expectation, is that this will be the kind of SCORM and XAPI content that we're kind of expecting to see. My only caveat to that is that a lot of new platforms coming onto the market are actually moving away from SCORM compliance. More and more are saying it's XAPI only from here. They're few at the moment, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was the line that Microsoft chose to take. I don't think that would be a bad idea. The industry could do with a kick towards adopting a new standard anyway, but that's just me. The important thing is that we know the Microsoft architecture can support these things. It can support SCORM, XAPI, and CMI5 and pretty much every standard going. We saw this with LMS 365. We've seen it with some of the ways you can sort of use SharePoint as an LMS. It's not perfect, but it's SharePoint. What we do know is that this is going to be very, very popular, even if it's basic. Even if you can't make it look fantastic, as is so often the case with a lot of legwork with some LMSs, it's going to be in every workplace already. The vast majority of businesses are Microsoft based. The vast majority of businesses, especially over the last year, have adopted Teams as their primary workplace tool. Bringing learning into that is going to be a fantastic way for us to really get content to people quickly, easily, in the flow of their day, and without asking them to remember a new password or login, or go to a new URL, or navigate to different websites effectively, which is what we're so often asking them to do with LMSs. So, Viva. We're only looking at promo material. We can't get a look at it working yet, but we know that this very month, February 2021, Microsoft are previewing it and starting to trial it with certain partners and customers. There's a link where you can sign up for more information that we will include in the description of today's episode. I would love to hear your thoughts, your hopes, your expectations. Maybe you think this is not going to be such a big deal. Maybe you think it'll be ignored. Maybe you think people hate Teams and never want to look at it again. Perfectly valid thinking, I think. My personal opinion is that it will be big, but let's have a discussion. Let me know what you think in the comments to this video. Thanks for watching my first thoughts on Microsoft Viva. I'd love to hear what you think, so do leave some comments in the description of this video. Also, if you'd like to see more of our content, do consider hitting that subscribe button and the like button just to help us out. And if you'd like to support us, links to our Patreon and Buy Me a Beer pages are in every episode.